Hello, everyone. So, I just got in from dinner in a crowded restaurant in these troubling coronavirus times, and I was kind of feeling myself, cause this is my eyeshadow from I got a mini Norvina palette, and so I am trying it out, and so yeah, I just did some eye makeup and went to dinner, and I'm kind of feeling myself. So I wanted to come on and do a chit chat. Probably gonna be a quick one because I have not done a chit chat in a while. And let me tell you, I have so much I almost said content, which isn't incorrect. I just feel like that word is overused. But I digress. I have so many videos that I need to upload, but I just get tired and I don't feel like uploading videos, and I definitely don't feel like editing. And to be honest, I've been trying to get myself back on a schedule because I've been doing some traveling and this and that, and I feel like I'm still on West Coast time. It is very difficult. Um, so I'm up like 3 hours later at night, and then I sleep like 3 hours later in the morning, and I've just been trying to get myself together. I don't know why this is sticking or up like that, whatever. So, yeah, hi. Let's have a chit chat. I guess we can talk about coronavirus. And I can share some tips because I feel like the hygiene part of what people are trying kind of like going through, that's a good thing. That's necessary. We need to be cleaner. We should have been this clean all along. And honestly, I'm a little bit biased because I live in a very crowded area, like a crowded metropolitan greater city area thing. Um, and I see a lot of people doing a lot of nasty stuff, especially compared to where I'm from, because I feel like culturally and regionally, some people's hygiene habits, not saying that some people are dirtier than others, but certain hygiene practices are more ingrained, and some people are kind of like hyper clean, and others are just kind of like, oh, it's okay, it's natural. That's not a value judgment at all, but just saying that there's a difference, and there are some scientifically proven ways that germs travel. And I'll tell you a quick story actually. So, just like the cultural element, and how we kind of do and reflect what we've been taught, and we don't know any better sometimes. Had a friend in Vietnam. She was from the countryside. Actually a supermodel over there, or what, I don't know what she's up to now. Like, we're not friends anymore because she's kind of crazy. Um, but I mean, like, no, seriously. But anyway, we were friends and I went to stay with her. So I lived in North Vietnam. She lived in the South. I went to stay at her place and we were working on some things. And so around Vietnamese New Year, crime goes up. Um, and you know what? I'm going to do a slight, I don't know if I'm going to go on that tangent. This is a chit chat, so I can if I want to. I'm going to just insert this right in there. So, this is one of the reasons why I hate the statement, oh, well, we're the only group that can't get along and everybody else sticks together. That is false. So I say that to get into this story. So around Vietnamese New Year, which is the same as the Chinese New Year, but they call it Tet. Um, Usually in February. This year is in January. Back then it was probably in February. Around the Vietnamese New Year holiday, which I think it was like a 2 week celebration back then. Now it's kind of Vietnam has changed so quickly the past few years. So now I think maybe it's like a 1 week or a weekend, or people take off 1 week now versus like the whole city would just be dead for 2 weeks because people travel to the countryside, which is usually where they're originally from. Although some people are originally from the city, like my friend whose wedding I was in, they are Hanoians through and through. And she even tried to talk me into staying for Tet. And I was like, no, I'm going back to the US and I'm going to stay there because, like there's nothing to do in Tet, and the stores are closed. Like, where will I get food and bottled water and whatever? She's like, no, no, it's changed. People stay in the city now. So maybe that's like a thing in recent years, as at least Hanoi has modernized even more, and there's Starbucks there now, and street light or traffic signals, which I kid you not, they didn't have traffic signals back when I lived there. Anywho, this is that's a huge tangent. But so around Vietnamese New Year, people tend to commit more crimes. Not everyone, but like everyone wants to stockpile their money for the new year. And so it's customary for people to give each other gifts. They might give like a monetary gift, especially if someone works for you, or if you like live in a place, or if you're at a restaurant and there are people who work there like in a service type position. I mean, they're bold. They'll ask for some extra money because it's Tet, or it's just nice to give them a little extra, whatever. Um, so, having said that, there is more crime leading up to the new year, and because people want more money, right, for the new year. So, my friend was on a scooter because like that was the it still is like the primary way to travel around everywhere in Vietnam. But although now there are cars on the road, it's so crazy. Like private households that aren't ultra wealthy are now owning cars, and so that's like a whole other thing. They're building subways there now. Oh, so crazy. Anyway, back then, just about everyone, which again, still the case now, just some people have like a scooter and a car or whatever. But everyone just like rode their scooters all around, or like maybe if you're a Westerners would have like a motorcycle sometimes if they were into that. So anyway, my friend was on her scooter, um, coming to this place where we were working on the project, and someone pulled her off the scooter, because she had like a I don't know if they recognized her, but even so, like you don't have to be like famous or well known for it to happen to you. So she had a crossbody bag on, and they wanted her bag, so they pulled her by the strap and snatched her off the scooter, and so she had road rash all over like her upper body, at like a lot of like her arms had been like the skin was scraped off and exposed. um so um, and just like to give you more background on like the crimes that happen. So that's one thing that happens. People like if you have a bag and you're on your scooter, someone might try to snatch the bag, or they might snatch you off the scooter to get the bag. Um, I don't know if this story is true because like sometimes there's like folklore and stuff that's exaggerated in Vietnam, but I've heard that women who have like really expensive like multi-thousand-dollar bags, people have actually cut their arm off, like if they're in a crowded area, or I don't know how it happens, but like someone might try to cut your arm off to get the bag, which I don't believe, but I think it could have happened once or twice. Like I wouldn't put it past people. Um but I don't think it's a regular occurrence. But certainly like theft on people when people are on their scooters, people probably get mugged. Maybe one thing that does happen, it happened to me twice. So when you're in a taxi, the police will pull you over and extort money out of you leading up to Tet because they want to have extra money for the new year. So they'll and it's not sporadic. Like if they see, especially if they see a Westerner in the car, like they know you're American or you're from somewhere other than Vietnam, they assume that you're traveling there because you have money. They will pull you over and like charge you a quote unquote fine, and you'll have to pay it in cash. And the first time it happened to me, I was going to Singapore, and so I didn't have any cash. Singapore, well, in Hanoi too, cars are widely accepted. I try not to carry much cash. I think the taxi driver paid it, like he got the money from the taxi driver. And then the second time, I don't remember what happened. I don't know. Maybe I paid it the second time, or maybe the taxi driver just like told him to go away or something. I don't know. But that's how widespread it is, and how they don't care. Again, like that diatribe I went on, they will steal, they will commit crime, like violent crimes, obviously against their own, just because they want a little bit of extra money for the new year. So anyway, I go into that to tell the story about my friend who got all scraped up because someone pulled her off her scooter. So, she did not want to go to the doctor because she thought that her skin would heal naturally. And these are like literally skin scraped off and like oozing like exposed flesh underneath, like all like maybe definitely both her arms were scraped up. So, Yeah, she what happened? You know what? I don't even think she went to the doctor at all, or the hospital or any of that. She did come to where we were working on the project, so to let everyone know what had happened. And then she went home to rest. I thought she was gonna go to the doctor, get medical attention. She didn't. So I don't remember what happened. She had like this Vietnamese ointment that she was putting on it, which is fine, but it wasn't working. And though like that exposed flesh was getting infected and turning green, I kid you not, like green. And she's like, "Oh no, it's just naturally healing." I'm like, "No, you're getting infected." Um, well, I don't really know like all the symptoms she had, but it started to like turn into like a systemic thing to where she felt really bad. And so she was like kind of talking to this American dude that I also know. We met him at the club. Like I was trying to ignore he no, that's a whole other story. Anyway, so he started kind of talking to her and they became friends, and so or dating or friends, or I don't know. But he was from New York, and so I'm like, she's not going to the doctor, and he's like, oh, don't worry about it, I'll just take her to the doctor and whatever. So he took her to get some medical treatment. They gave her a cream. He lectured her about putting on the cream and keeping her arms covered with the gauze or whatever type of dressing. And I think he was a nice guy. um he actually helped her change her dressings and things like that. But she would complain to me like, I don't want to do this, I just want it to heal naturally. And I'm like, no, you know what else is natural? Germs are natural, and infections are natural, and dirt is natural, and there's so much stuff in the air here that you're gonna get reinfected if you stop, putting on the creams and covering it up. So anyway, she did, and she healed. Like she kept following the doctor's orders and healed. I tell that story to illustrate that, like, sometimes you just don't know better, and so like it's not to call other people or other cultures or whatever have you, people even regionally. I think there's a difference now that I live where I live now compared to how I grew up. It's not to call people nasty or horrible or filthy, but yeah, like however, there's a certain standard of hygiene and health and upkeep that we should all practice to avoid spreading disease. And not even in like a dirty, filthy, just like to avoid spreading pathogens, let's say, spreading germs. Um, so having said that, am I worried about this virus that's going around? I'm gonna give you, yeah, I'll just keep it like very surface level. Um my approach is to behave the way I kind of treated that influenza A or whatever it was that was going around last year. One, I know at least one person who got it, and it was just like brutal. um, I don't want the flu. I don't want coronavirus. I don't want swine flu. I don't want bird flu. I don't want any flu, okay? I don't want to get sick. So I try to keep my immune system built up. I do elderberry supplements. I just ordered some elderberry liquid that arrived from Amazon today. Um I'm big on what else? I mean, I could do better with my vitamins, but vitamin C, zinc is a good one. D vitamins actually help build your immune system, so I was recently supplementing with vitamin D because I know living up here, like I know, and having brown skin, I know that I was not getting enough vitamin D, and I had like these symptoms, and I read that they, correspond to vitamin D deficiency. Not to self diagnose or whatever, but I knew for a fact that I was not getting enough vitamin D, most likely. So I started those supplements and actually started feeling better. So that's something else that can help boost your immune system as well. Echinacea, maybe goji berries. I'll have to check up on that. But I didn't. Oh, and probiotics. So like I drink kefir, which before I started traveling overseas and even while I was there, when I could find it, I would drink it, and it works wonders. It's amazing. Like if you get food poisoning, if it's a bacterial food poisoning, um, it'll knock it out within an hour. You'll be good to go. I've done it several times, like where I start. So when I get food poisoning, my stomach just stops processing the food and it usually comes up. Um, and so like I know pretty quickly what's going on. I just start drinking the kefir and all of a sudden my stomach starts back digesting stuff cuz like the kefir has probiotics that um I think they eat the bacteria that causes food poisoning. They eat a lot of different bacteria and repopulate you with good bacteria. I know for a fact it works and it works fast. And with that, I'm going to caution you if you do kefir, the yogurt drink, start slow because it will change your digestive system for the better, but it'll just like start eliminating some stuff. Or like, you know, you might have some discomfort at first if you just like try to down the whole bottle if you're not used to it. So like try an ounce of it, see how it works, and then maybe gradually build up from there. Um you know, there's like acidophilus supplements and stuff like that. Don't forget your gut as you're trying to build up your immune system. In addition to that, obviously stay clean. Keep your face clean. Keep your nose clean. Keep your I almost like hiccuped. Keep your nose clean, definitely keep your face clean. Spritz, you know, like a saline solution up your nose, or if you do sinus rinses with saline solution, like with a neti pot, those are really good. In a lot of crowded third world countries, people do that to keep their noses clean from pollution and from bacteria and things that can kind of get, so your nose is a filter. It filters out things that would otherwise make you sick. So like it's good to like freshen it up with like saline or whatever. um and in addition to that, um you know, I don't really want to get into the masks. Yeah, I'll save the mask. Like if you want to do a mask, do it. I would also say like I think it could be smart to like spritz your mask with like some um like an antimicrobial solution, like oregano oil spray if you have that, or what is, or like maybe they make zinc that you can spray, but I'm trying to think. Silver solution, colloidal silver. So silver is a natural antimicrobial as well, and they used to use it in the olden days. They made dishes out of silver to kind of kill like all the crap that was going around in Europe and stuff, and probably other places too. But especially Europe. Anyway, so yeah, other than that, obviously wash your hands. Wash your hands when you leave, like when you leave work, wash your hands at work if you're touching office equipment, if you're touching people, if you go on a train, if you go on a bus, if you wherever you're doing, just like wash your hands and try to keep your hands away from your face and your mouth unless you're covering the cough, in which case, you know, use a tissue and still wash your hands. Um or like cough into your arm, you know, that thing that people do. But like just keep yourself clean. Um and yeah, probably like change your clothes when you get home, cuz you know, like, yeah, like you know what to do. You guys know what to do. Make your home your refuge and just like keep it clean. Shed all the stuff from the outside world upon entering your refuge. So what else do I have? That might be it for coronavirus. I know there are a lot of closings, like universities here are starting to close. My friend's school district, two school districts in Atlanta, as far as I know, have suspended classes, I think. Um, but that you know, like kids spread stuff easily, and they're in like classrooms together, and then the teacher's there, and blah blah blah, and then they spread it to their parents, and then their parents go to work. You know, so like I kind of get that. Although I'm curious to see how long these closings are gonna last. Um, Other than that, you know what? I just left a crowded restaurant. Everybody around here, like, there's still stuff on the shelves. Although I haven't looked for hand sanitizer, but I do hear I was just at my pole dancing class, which pole dancing, I wasn't worried about because you like you rub the pole down with alcohol anyway, frequently, so that it's not too slippery. So I wasn't too worried about that. And my pole dance teacher is very clean. Like she cleans the floor in between classes and things like that. She makes everybody wipe their exercise mats. Like if we do, she teaches other classes, but we also use mats sometimes to warm up to do stretches. You wipe those down with alcohol even before coronavirus. So I wasn't worried about that. I pretty much go to the gym and work from home and go to pole dancing class. And at the gym, I wipe everything down before I use it. I kind of did that before. Now I do it even more. Especially the places where you put your hands. I've always like laid a towel down on the equipment too, between my body and like the seat or whatever I'm working on that day. The gym was kind of empty like it wasn't empty, but it was light. But it's usually a little bit lighter at night. The pool, there were people in the lap pool, but the therapy pool was kind of empty. But I like it cuz it's quieter and whatever. Um Other than that, what else are we going to talk about? So Oh yeah, no, I just left a crowded restaurant. No one seemed panicky. Everyone was in good spirits. My Uber driver was saying that more people are taking Uber versus taking trains and buses. I don't blame them. I already don't like the subway. I already don't like like the buses, the suburban buses I don't mind because they're like coach buses and they're upholstered, and you only sit next to one person even though there's like people behind you and in front of you. They're more comfortable than like the regular city buses. But even that, like, I don't know, um that doesn't bother me so much right now, but I don't go out much anyway right now. But if you are like taking a train, especially if you take public transit, definitely like maybe even create a kind of I know for my clients I say create a go station, which is like a little like some hooks on the wall, and or a little hutch or something that you can put your keys on. You can put like your bag for work or for school, um and like your shoes if you don't wear shoes in your house, just whatever you need so that you can quickly grab all your stuff and exit quickly if it's an emergency. If you're headed out in the morning, as you go in and come out, you can develop that habit of always being able to just pick up and go, because you know where your keys are, you know where your shoes are, you know where your bag is, your wallet, all that stuff. In that area, I would even suggest like maybe even doing a clothes hamper or something. So, I mean, this could get awkward if you like live with people. Um, but just so you can like take off your outer stuff that's been touching stuff, and your shoes, and change clothes as soon as you get home so that you're not carrying the germs from the train or the bus with you. Really, honestly, really like people in that situation, I think it's not a bad idea to change your clothes when you get home anyway, but like if you've been on public transit, like I just see some of the nastiest stuff around here. So consider that, just like make your home your safe, clean refuge, and really I think we're all going to be fine. Most of the cases of people who have passed away, unfortunately, because it's people dying, but usually older people with like compromised immune systems. If you have any of those situations going on, be extra careful. Um, that's all I'm gonna talk about. I almost called it flu, coronavirus. And this is now like a 23-minute video, 24 minutes. So I'm gonna end my video here. I'll come back with something else or upload one of my old uploads. Um, I need to, yeah, okay. I'll come back with another quick video. So on that note, I'll see you guys again soon. This lash is driving me nuts. I know you're tired of me fidgeting with this lash. It's just so awkward. Anyway, till the next video, take care and be well, and have a good evening. Stay safe in these streets, and I will talk to you soon. Bye now.